I live? I think I am. Cool. What's up, Jags fans? It is your boy Jersey Jaguar here to bring you, on a special live edition, my 53-man roster prediction for the 2022 season. I'm going to jump right into this. So if you don't happen to jump in the chat, before I get started, obviously you can go back and watch it later. Let's get into it. I can't believe how fast this offseason went. I feel like I blinked and it was over. Like, football, it left us, and just as fast as it left us, it joined us again. So I'm going to jump right into this. Quarterback shouldn't be any surprise to anyone, especially after what we saw on Thursday night. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, and I think as long as he's healthy by week 1 against the Commanders, C.J. Beathard will be the backup. I mean, because they suck. The other two suck. I'm drawing a blank on the guy that started for us Thursday night. I'm drawing a hard blank. The other guy's name was Slaughter, and they both are just putrid, terrible, and there's a reason why the Jaguars cut him. I cannot remember the guy's name, number 6. Whatever, he sucks. Yeah, Jake Luton. Thank you, Charlie boy. I could not remember his name. So it'll just be Trevor and CJ leading up that quarterback room. Then jump on down to the running backs. We got, obviously, Mr. James Robinson, the one and only, Travis Etienne, Snoop Connor, and Rock Armstead. Now, I don't know how a lot of you Jaguar fans feel. I like Rock Armstead. I think he's a good special team player, and I think he provides enough to where he can definitely be a really good, solid number 4 option. Probably won't get a whole lot of play time on the field, but I think he's good enough to where, like I said, he's good enough to be the 4th guy. I think he provides enough on special teams to where if the Jaguars were to keep 4 running backs, which I believe they probably will, he's good enough for that 4th spot. And I really liked what I saw out of Snoop Connor, too. I thought Snoop Connor looked a lot kind of quicker and a lot more, I don't know, he looked a lot better than I kind of thought of him on that Thursday night game. I'm looking forward to see what he does Friday night against the Browns. Wide receiver, obviously, Christian Kirk, got Visca, Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, Jamal Agnew, and I've made a little bit of a change because I think the Jaguars will keep 6 wide receivers, but because I kind of was jumping on the Kevin Austin thing, like, oh, well, maybe they did pay him all that guaranteed money, especially for an undrafted guy. Everyone's hyping him up. Everyone's talking about him. And I said, well, if there was an expendable wide receiver, it would be Treadwell. The Jaguars should go for that high ceiling guy instead of Treadwell, and we all kind of know what Treadwell is. Well, Kevin Austin has kind of fallen from grace spectacularly, and I don't even think I saw him on Thursday night. And if you guys know who Dilla is on Twitter, he's saying he thinks that he'll be one of the first 5 cut, that he's easily been one of the worst guys out there throughout all training camp, which is kind of disappointing to hear. It is what it is. Tight end position, I got Dan Arnold, Evan Ingram, Chris Manhertz, and Luke Farrell. Luke Farrell actually showed kind of a lot on the game on Thursday. He was kind of the only real player on offense that was doing anything, especially with, like, I think Luton and Slaughter were both throwing to him. I think he had like 3 catches for 42 yards, which is a lot more production than Jaguar tight ends typically have. So I think he'll make it at the end of the roster there and provide some special teams help. Manhurts has 1 year left on his deal, I think. And he's more of that, kind of like the extra tackle almost, that blocking tight end. I think the Jaguars are going to run the ball a lot this year. I think that's what Doug Peterson wants to do a lot with ETN and J-Rob and Snoop Connor. And then obviously we're hoping that Evan Ingram can be that, receiving tight end threat that the Jaguars haven't had. And also Dan Arnold, if he can stay healthy. And let's be honest, Dan Arnold kind of struggled a little bit sometimes with catching the ball himself. Hopefully he can correct that as well. Offensive line, I have us keeping 8 guys. I got Cam Robinson, obviously, Tyler Shadley, Luke Fortner, Brandon Sheriff, Walker Little as the 5 starters. I think Walker Little, if there was that much of a competition, or if there was kind of like a gap in Doug Peterson's mind between him and Jawan Taylor, I think he kind of closed that on Thursday night. I think Walker Little played very solid. I mean, his quarterbacks were trash. But I think he played very solid on Thursday night. And then I have Jawan Taylor, Ben Barch, and Will Richardson kind of in the back end of the offensive line. Defensive line, so I know technically some of these guys are considered like outside linebackers, but when I think of these guys, I just think of them as on the defensive line, rushing the passer, setting the edge, all that good stuff. So I have Trayvon Walker, Foley Fatukasi, Devon Hamilton, Malcolm Brown, Josh Allen, Arden Key, Jay Tefele, Roy Robertson Harris, Adam Gossis, and unfortunately I have Caleb Chase on at the end of that. That brings us to 10 guys who will be up in the trenches for the Jags this year in the defensive line. Linebackers, I have my favorite Jaguar, your favorite Jaguar, your mother's favorite Jaguar, Devin Lloyd. I have Foye Oluokun, who I'm excited to see play. I hope he plays soon in the preseason. I'd kind of like to get a glimpse of him. Chad Muma, Shaq Quarterman, who definitely needs to clean things up. Chappelle Russell. And then I don't really know why. I wrote Rudy Ford down here, even though I think he's technically a safety, but he kind of plays, I've seen him play up in the box a little bit. But I got Rudy Ford. I think Rudy Ford's a pretty solid player. Cornerback, I got Tyson Campbell, who, my God, I think all us Jaguar fans took a collective, gasp when we saw him down on the field on Thursday night. And then I don't think I've ever screamed at the TV before when it comes to a preseason game. But when I saw him back on the field, 3 plays later, get him out of there at that point. So I had Tyson Campbell, obviously. We're expecting big things from him this year. Shaquille Griffin, Darius Williams, Trey Herndon, who's having an excellent camp and actually made some nice plays on Thursday. I have Brown and Jr., our 2 picks, the 6th and 7th round picks that we had at the end of this past draft. And then for special teams purpose, I have Chris Claybrooks because God knows he can't cover anyone. And that brings us down to the last 2 positions. It's safety. We got Andre Cisco, who is not only starting, but everything that I'm hearing, everything that I'm seeing, and considering he was one of the few guys on defense that could actually tackle on Thursday night, he's having a terrific camp, which is just, it makes you think. It really makes you think. Because people say, oh, well, he wasn't grasping the playbook last year, I am under the firm belief that Cisco was a bulky pick instead of an Urban Meyer guy, and I think that was Urban Meyer's way of sticking it to Trent Baalke to start Andrew Wingard. Can't tell me that Wingard's better than Cisco. It's just not. It's not reality. So I expect big things from Cisco this year for sure. Raeshawn Jenkins, who, I don't know, honestly, I hope Daniel Thomas eventually takes his spot because Jenkins is, I don't know, very disappointed with Jenkins. I mean, I don't know if I'd call him like Andrew Wingard level of suck, but I think for the money we're paying him, he needs to be a whole lot better than he is. But obviously, I have Wingard on the team still, just solely off of special teams and an emergency of an injury. You know, he's used to the team. He can run out there and torture us. And obviously Daniel Thomas, and those are my 4 safeties. And then to round out the 53-man roster for the Jags on special teams, I have Elliot Fry, because he's the only guy who can make a field goal for us, apparently. Logan Cook, and then the long snapper, whose name I cannot pronounce, but he's going to make the team because someone has to do it. That's all I got for you guys. So let me know what you think down in the comments. You think my 53-man rosters, is it on par with what you're thinking? Is there a guy that maybe wouldn't be on your 53-man roster? Someone maybe like, for instance, would you rather the Jags? Maybe if it's Winningham, or maybe Kevin Austin will show us something in the next couple of preseason games. Would you rather the Jags take a flyer on a guy like that still, instead of keeping a guy like Treadwell on the team? What would you do with the offensive line? Maybe because Will Richardson was kind of sucking it up on Thursday. Would you end up just cutting Richardson? I kind of agree with that. Bring back Matthew Wright. Yeah. I don't really know why they cut him, to be completely honest with you. I thought he was serviceable enough, especially with the just the terrible kicking situation that we were in last year, with Josh Lambo just totally falling off a cliff and everything that was going on. I really thought Matthew Wright did pretty well in most situations. But I don't know, for one reason or not, they don't want to. And Elliot Fry is the only guy that made a field goal on Thursday. So as of right now, he's the guy that I got making the roster makeup with Josh Lambo. Well, see, here's the thing. Josh Lambo, kickers have a wall. When kickers finally meet that wall, like Josh Scobie, when he hit that wall with us and we cut him and he went to Pittsburgh and he couldn't kick anymore. It's just something with kickers. Once they hit that wall, they're done. And I think, unfortunately for Josh Lambo, he's hit that wall. Sucks, because the dude was an amazing kicker for several years for us. I wish he was still the Josh Lambo we know and love, but unfortunately, I think he's hit that wall. That's all I got for you guys today. Just wanted to throw out my quick 53-man roster. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Go Jags. Screw the Titans.